What's going on, guys? How you doing? In today's video, we are checking out an interview with Nirvana. This is from 1993. Wow. It's been a while since I've listened to Nirvana.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I grew up with Nirvana. I
me too.
like them, but it's been a while since I've put on like one of their records, and Kitty is really into Nirvana also. So.
Do you have a favorite song?
No, not specifically. I liked a lot of their albums and a lot of their songs. So I wouldn't say I have a specific song that I liked. I liked a lot of them. I mean, I just liked Nirvana.
Yeah.
So, yeah, their records. So we're going to check out this interview. If you're new here, please subscribe. Check out my videos, all kinds of videos, reaction videos, bass videos, music videos. Check it out. We do donation requests. So if there's something that you want us to watch, listen to, talk about, his direct, all that info is in the description. Thank you, guys. All right, let's check this out. Nirvana 93. Bam.
What?
Boats?
Seattle.
Yeah. What is
Are you getting
going on
sound?
Here? No, there's nothing.
I don't have sound either.
So many people would be expecting me to talk about, to be writing about the last 2 years and our past experiences with, drugs and having a new child and all the press coming down on us and stuff like that. I decided to just use experiences from books and other stories instead of even dealing with my life. I mean, there's a little bit of my life, personal things in it, but for the most part, it's just. It's very unpersonal, impersonal, and I think that'll be a surprise to a lot of people. I think the general consensus was that the album may not sell as much, and so they were concerned with that, but they never ever once put any pressure on us. They just basically told us their feelings and their thoughts of what they thought of the record. Most people don't like the record. A lot of my friends don't even like the record.
Yeah.
But
crazy.
Do you like
Wow.
the record?
I love it. I think it's great. Chris and Dave and I, all three of us are totally excited about it. We've achieved exactly what we've been wanting to achieve for the last 2 records. This is the sound that we've had in our heads that has never been able to transfer. I really don't care what anyone thinks about my past drug use. I can put the blame on that kind of influence, but it's a mixture of, rock and roll in general, the Keith Richards thing and Iggy Pop and all those other people that did drugs. I just thought it was just one of those things that you do, to relieve the pain. But, as I expected, before I started doing heroin, I realized that I knew at the beginning that it would become just as boring as marijuana does, Like all drugs, after a few months, it's just as boring as, breathing air, So I just don't want to try. I've always lied about it because I didn't want to influence anybody, I didn't want anyone to even consider the thought of doing drugs because it's really stupid. There's nothing more embarrassing than a group of people walking up to you and shaking and clamoring and praising you like you're some kind of fucking god or something. It's embarrassing.
People are always telling you, you're so great, you're so good, your band is so great, you changed rock and roll. And you just sort of think, no, I didn't, nothing's changed really. And I'm not great, I don't understand why everybody's so enamored by the band. There's so many bands in Seattle now. Seattle is the new Los Angeles, And that's kind of upsetting because Seattle was a city that it was a clean city, and it was a small city, and there was no traffic, and there was no air pollution. And it was something really great that a lot of people were attracted to, so they moved there. And, you know, the more people that move to the city, the bigger and worse the city gets.
I was a big heavy metal fan for years in junior high school, and I have nothing against heavy metal fans at all, you know, except for, you know, some of the, you know, for the most part, most heavy metal has always been pretty sexist, so, you know, there are a lot of areas in it that I don't agree with, but that's no reason to exclude a person from, you know, having the opportunity to listen to your music. It might be nice to eventually start playing acoustic guitars and be thought of as a singer and a songwriter rather than a grunge rocker, you know? Because then I might be able to take advantage of that when I'm older and sit down on a chair and play acoustic guitar like Johnny Cash or something, you know? And it won't be a big joke. But who knows?
Did Johnny Cash sit down and play acoustic guitar?
When we play live, we lack a lot of things because I have to concentrate on so many different areas at once. You know, I've always lacked in any kind of participation or any kind of feelings with the audience. You know what I'm saying? Like I can never really, because I'm concentrated on my guitar and I have to remember the lyrics and I have to remember to push these little buttons down on my fuzz pedals and stuff. And I have to sing and all this stuff, and it you know, it just confuses me. I can't chew gum and walk at the same time, so I'm expected to do like 6 things at once. And so just adding another guitar player is totally a relief. It just really helps. It's great. And we got this guy, Pat Smear, who's in the Germs. The pleasure I get out of it is knowing that many people like the music, you know. But I was validated beyond any expectations when we were playing in clubs, you know. Just to have that many people, just to have 50 or 100 people tell you that they like your music is fine enough with me, you know. So I've never been afraid of any kind of failure. We like to change with every song. Like every song, I'll twiddle my knobs and turn them into a different sound. So I just don't like to repeat things. Kind of passive aggressive in a way, you know. We don't confront one another if we're pissed off at each other. We just let the other person know that we're bothered by something that they've said, and then just forget about it, you know. It's really the only way to work with somebody. None of us have really that aggressive of personalities, really. We're all pretty much the same kind of people, you know. So we started as friends, and I can't see anything getting in the way to stop us from being friends.
I mean, there was a time when there was I'd say a breakdown in communication, but right now, you know, if I think for most of the part since about for the good part of the last year, there's been good relations between everybody. I mean, Kurt and Courtney come over for dinner, you know what I mean? They bring the kid over. Everything's great.
To tell you the truth, I would rather just quit my band and join Hole, you know, but only because when I have played music with them, there's a level of connection that's a little bit higher than with anyone else that I've ever played with. It's amazing. It's something that's totally satisfying for Courtney and I, but completely unrealistic because we're already so intertwined with each other, and you know, most people don't even think of the band Nirvana anymore. They think of Kurt and Courtney, you know, and it's just too much. It gets in the way. People would overlook the music and look into other things, you know, and it just wouldn't be taken seriously enough. So I'd like to someday, but as of now, I couldn't see anything for the next 5 years or so. We still jam together every once in a while. It's a sad situation. I really wish we could just join bands, you
know. Interesting. Super interesting. Wow. That was cool to watch. What?
His demeanor is just so, like, I don't know, melancholy.
Yeah.
You know?
He encompasses Seattle.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you could just tell he's not like fulfilled or something. Like he doesn't seem like content. He doesn't seem happy. He doesn't seem he doesn't seem fulfilled. It also doesn't seem like there's anything that would, I don't know, complete him or something. I don't know. Because, you know, he was talking about his drug use and why he did it and stuff like that. You know, and it's just like... Yeah,
that's strange.
No, it's not strange. I mean, he was using drugs to, like, numb himself. You know?
Right. Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Sad. This video made me feel sad. Yeah. Especially because, like, we know the outcome.
Right.
You know?
Sure, yeah.
Like, yeah. And then when you watch this footage, you're like... Yeah, didn't make me feel good.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was cool. I thought it was interesting to hear them and hear them talk about music and that time. I thought it was cool. Yeah, it was very interesting. Yeah, where he's talking about, you know, like doing drugs and it's just like boring. I mean, that's pretty wild. Yeah, I started doing heroin and it just you know, you get bored. It's just like anything else. You're just bored with it after 6 months. Just like...
Yeah, I mean, you never, like, hear that you're, like, they're chasing their first high.
Yeah,
you know, they want
you've
that
heard
first
that.
high again.
Yeah.
Because it's never, like, as good.
Yeah.
It's always just down from there.
Yeah, it's interesting. Nobody liked In Utero when it came out. That's a great record. I mean, it's not Nevermind, but it's In Utero.
I like that comment. Says they were so young and had no idea how much they influenced music.
Yeah. That's cool. Thinking ahead like that, wanting to be known as like a singer-songwriter basically, as opposed to just some druggy grunge rocker or whatever.
Yeah, grunge.
Right? Yeah. I mean, did
See, this is a common theme between in every interview that we see, is that they always say, you know, I'm more than just this.
Right.
I'm more than just this.
Yeah.
But it's like they got famous off of this. We had this conversation.
Yes. Yeah.
And yeah, they're like...
I mean, that's like that with anybody in any profession. People are more than their profession. That's just accurate.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, there's more... That's like saying there's more to life than money. You know? It's like, yeah. You know, like, yeah, people are not just one-dimensional. They're not just like this one thing. Yes, oftentimes, especially, I mean, for anybody, like, things define people, you know, especially in other people's minds, you know, like, they think, like, oh, because a lot of people, they're just, like, you know, they, like, compartmentalize and they box people into things, you know? So it's like... and even the industry does that. It's like, well, wait a minute. No, you're, you know, the rock guy. You don't like, you're not, you can't put out a funk album or whatever. You're, you know, this kind of guy. You're not supposed to make some happy album or something, you know, like something like that. They, you know, happens all the time. It's like, wait a minute, you're a guitar player. You're not supposed to be playing drums or whatever, you know. Like,
yeah, they put you in a box.
Yeah, you know. And it's the same thing with just regular people. It's like, wait a minute, hang on. This doesn't sound anything like Nevermind. This is, you know, like In Utero sucks or whatever, even though that's like really not that far of a jump at all. It's really not that far of a jump at all. But, you know, people still do that. It's like, okay, what's your background? Yeah, I've been, you know, like doing music for 20 years, but yeah, I also like to do this. And, you know, this is another thing that I'm also really good at or whatever. And, you know, with the amount of career changes that people have, you know, it's like, I don't know, you should allow people to surprise you, you know, with what they can do. Because you never know. You just never know. Like, especially, like, how long did it take him to get good at his instrument or whatever? Hang on. We're talking about Nirvana here. They weren't exactly, like, the cleanest players, but, like, you know, for what they do, you know, like, or for me to get good at my instrument. Like, and obviously there are different levels of that as you continue to play, but, like, really, you know, it's like, okay, well, if it only took you however many years, even if you say that's a decade, even if it's 10 years, how many decades are people living? You're saying that you can't pick something else up and do it for 10 years and have someone, you know? It's
it's so, like, frequent that people make something that you're good at or have spent, like, any amount of time doing your identity, and it's like, it's not your identity, like, right. You know?
Yeah, like people are going to think that Magic Johnson is a basketball player, you know, as opposed to, you know, an incredible investor or entrepreneur. Same thing with, like, Shaquille O'Neal, right? It's like, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a really good example.
You know, it's like, well, wait a minute. I got more time being a business owner and an entrepreneur than I have a basketball player. Yeah. At some point, that's going to be accurate. So it's like, wait a minute. So what are you? You're all of it. You know, you're both of it.
I think also sometimes it's like people cling to what they know.
Right.
So, like, if all we know about, you know, Nirvana is that, you know, there's these 3 guys and they do grunge music. So you cling to that. You don't know anything else about them. So to you, that's what they are.
Right.
You know, you don't know what he likes to do, you know, on a Tuesday afternoon, or what he eats for breakfast, or what show he watches, or, you know, you don't know any of that.
But yeah, this is really cool. Yeah, I like this one. This is definitely cool. Dig it. Very cool. Loving these interviews.
Maybe my idea of melancholy is just somebody who's, like, really chill. He's, like, so...
I mean, no, there's some downer a bit
I
about it.
felt like there was a lot.
Yeah, there's some downer a bit about it, for sure. For sure. But, you know, it's a rare sunny day in Seattle.
He needs more vitamin D. It helps with depression.
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, and the most depressed people have always been... In
cold,
the Northwest.
darks.
But anyways, this is really cool. You know, some of these interviews have been really great. So some of them are weird and interesting and even boring, but others have been really, really, really cool to watch. So I'm digging it. Mm-hmm. Really digging it. Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you very much. We'll catch you in the next video.
Bye.